How quick has he gone? That's extraordinary. So he has not succumbed to that second half of the parkour syndrome that we've seen so many other riders as their time dies in this final finishing funnel. His time looks better and better. He's going to make it, you know. He's got 10 seconds still to get there, and he's going to post the best time. 11:03 the clock stops. Tobias Ludvigsson must depart the hot seat and acknowledge that he's been beaten by a better man on the day. What a ride from Primoz Roglic.
Here's Amador then. He was fourth fastest at the intermediate check, and actually doesn't look like he's going to be too far off here at the finish.
His father, of course, is Spanish descent. His mother, Russian immigrant, hence the Andre. Let's just have a look at that clock. Well, he's missed out on first place. Third place might still be in it, though, for him, as he stops the clock at 11:09 and provisional second place, temporarily knocking Marcel Kittel down into fourth place. Ludvigsson hanging on to a podium position, but, well, Movistar beginning to show their colours. This man is the undisputed star of the Dutch scene now. Tom Dumoulin, playing down his prospects overall in the general classification for the Giro, but today, well, today could be his day. Not too far now for Dumoulin until he is holding in on the finish line, and that target of 11:03 set by Primoz Roglic, that is in danger now because of this epic big ride by the big Dutchman. Few hundred metres, and let's watch that clock tick over. I don't know, it's going to be close. How far is he from the finish line? He's only got a handful of seconds to spare. Maybe that time of Roglic is going to be good enough after all, as he stops the clock at 11:03 and stands to splits. Going to be the king of the mountains, the first king of the mountains on this edition of the Giro, and now Cialinghi finds himself just gapped a little bit by Bellato. Now Fraile goes, that's his effort. Fraile has opened up everything in a bid for the line, and Cialinghi is burying himself to try and get across. Bellato struggling to stay on the wheel of the Dutchman. Bit by bit, Cialinghi's getting back to Fraile, but he might have left it a bit too late. There's the finish line, can he get there? No, Fraile looks over his shoulder. He knows that he's beaten the Dutchman. Omar Fraile takes the king of the mountains competition on stage one. Breakaway companions have been out with him all day, and finally that effort has begun to tell. He's done one complete circuit all on his own, and that little wave in the left hand acknowledges the passage of the peloton as they pass under the Flamme Rouge, marking 1k to go, but 1k to go next time they come off the Vaal Bridge. Now surely you'll see the GC teams give up the ghost here and hand things over to the sprinters teams, and the first of those sprinters teams is FDJ. They take things up now. Lotto Soudal moving into the frame for the first time. 2.8 remaining. Now Bob Jungels hits the front for Etixx Quickstep. There's a little bit of a gap though. Where are the rest of the train? It's a bit disorganised. Etixx Quickstep, not quite the smooth machine that they need at this point, and no visible sign of Marcel Kittel. Now he's just popping into your frame on the right hand side of the road.
FDJ have got the momentum at the moment.
Kicking uphill a little bit before they line things out and sweep right-handed into the finishing straight. Here they go, huge crowds. I can hear the noise of the finishing line, ramping up the excitement. Demar hits the front with his team. He has two men now. Where is Kittel? He's still on the wheel. He's just boxed out of position a little. Now he finds himself tracking the move of Demar. So now it's handed over to FDJ. What can Demar do? He's in a perfect place here. Kittel is on the wheel of Demar. Behind him there's a Katusha rider in the mix, and he's dragging them all up into position. Kittel now beginning to open up his sprint. He hits the front. The big German goes. What can he do? Demar is the best of the rest in terms of reacting. Modelo fighting for position, but no contest. No contest at all in the end. Class delivered. Win number 7 of the season for Marcel. He's done it! Martin Cialinghi takes maximum points at the King of the Mountains, and that will delight the crowd who turned out on the postbank, and there they come over the finish line. According to you, Daniel?
1:11 I've got.
And that marries with the information we've got on screen as well. So 1:11, 13 kilometres, that's where the breakaway is. Well, Van Zyl has decided he's got the engine to go it alone. I'm not sure that's the best thing for this group of riders who have really relied on the South African to some extent, or really the collaboration that's involved in. Here come the bunch, and it's game over for Dimension Data today.
Well, Etixx Quickstep have lined themselves on the front there. They've got now 3 riders still in front of Marcel Kittel.
Well, he has still a couple of men to burn up, does Marcel Kittel. He's sitting in third wheel, and this time Elia Viviani, the Team Sky sprinter, is right on the wheel of Marcel Kittel. So too is Caleb Ewan. He's there. Nizzolo is on him. They're all lining up behind Kittel. When is Kittel going to open up his sprint? It's now! The big German hits the front in the red jersey. He's got competition though from Andre Greipel down the centre of the road, the other German, but no chance once again for anyone else in the race as Marcel Kittel makes it 2 out of 2, and with that assumes the race lead on the Giro d'Italia. It's a man who has got a job on his hands today, Marcel Kittel in the pink jersey. How he'd love to carry it into tomorrow, if it were at all possible. He turns 28 years old, does Marcel Kittel tomorrow. He's pretty isolated, is the Maglia Rosa now, and these are testing times indeed. It's not as if it's exploded on the climb here, but it's a tightening of the screw, and it does the damage initially to those riders like Marcel Kittel. It might just be enough now to lose it. Well, Marcel Kittel has been dropped. He's back a little bit of time though, being paced back on. Some of the other riders who dropped with him. It was a surprise move. Movistar's Rory Sutherland just pulled over to the right-hand side of the road and looked the non-bus by the side of the 282 Ireland and the other riders shooting off the front, and it looked thoroughly premeditated. This pairing of the Ireland and the other riders is pretty important. They're going to be reintegrated into his chase group, which has been pushing 70 riders strong. That is a powerful size of group they do start working together.
Well, you see now nobody wants to lead up that last bit of energy before they get to climb. Who knows what's coming up ahead of them now? It's a very severe gradient that are going to greet them in just a few moments' time.
There is the form of Diego Ulissi, and he leads the race, and he leads them over this final uncategorised climb. Is he going to get there to the top on his own? He is. To attack from head, quick step there, the next team to go, and they go again, and this time it's Gianluca Trampilla. So 2 Italians now battling this one out, and his legs surely will be feeling this effort, but the gap goes out now to 11 seconds. It's right in the balance. Dumoulin could be riding himself into the Maglia Rosa when we've done our calculations. He might even get a stage win just yet, but there's only 150 metres to go for Diego Ulissi. And even though Dumoulin is chasing hard and bringing Christ-like with him, I think it's going to be enough. It certainly is now. Just 75 metres. Now he risks the look. Now he can throw his arms in delight. Dumoulin will take second place, and Christ-like in third, and there's a sprint won by Alejandro Valverde, I think, for fourth place. The Movistar man crossing the line, but no one could get to him. What a win! Kittel would be less brilliantly well suited to today's finish, should this all come down to a bunch sprint, that it would be if it was just a flat track, or the extremely fast finish that we had in Nijmegen, for example. However, I think it would be extremely foolish to even consider writing Marcel Kittel off.
That pink jersey is safe as long as he stays in the front group and the gap remains about the same. So now it's down to who would like to bring this back for a bunch sprint. And the only team that we've seen with those desires at the moment is Team Lotto Soudal.
This is a full-on effort now by the breakaway group, and as a result their advantages just slipped out to 1 minute 40 seconds, partly because Lotto Soudal has disappeared from the front of the peloton. And here's the catch, Lotto Jumbo bringing the race all together on the closing kilometre for the first time of asking.
Well, I have to tell you that Kittel has been distanced from this group by around about 20 seconds from the back of it, so he obviously wasn't feeling good today. So it doesn't look like it's going to be Marcel Kittel's stage today, which opens up the door to pretty much every sprinter, none of whom have won a stage so far this year's Giro d'Italia. We've got Greipel there in third position, Zolo on his wheel already.
Look out for the man in the white jersey, the epic sprint step rider, so handily placed in the general classification as well. Because Jumels can win this stage from here, he will take the race lead. Jumels opens up his sprint, but Greipel is in the front. Has he gone too early? Jumels is closing now. Can Jumels time trial up to the German, or even get past him? It's going to be a win for Germany though. Not Marcel Kittel this time, but Andre Greipel. Such power, such brilliance. The Mara takes up second place. A big win for Greipel. Raw power and determination. A great team effort as well. Delivered their man into the finishing circuit in just the position he wanted.
I'm pretty sure it is at this race, unless someone comes to the front in the next
1 or 2 kilometres and really puts the whole team on flat out, then I think this is going to be, well, we're looking at the winner of the stage on our screens right now.
There's the race leader, the pink jersey, and there's a little counter move from Fulsang going. He's highly placed in the general classification, don't forget. And this is a classic Astana 1-2. We've seen it so often. 10k to go then, 14 balance for the Belgian rider who attacked on the lower slopes. He bluffed, made everyone think he was dying after Laurent Didier attacked first of all this man. And then when they drew him back, Valens was the next man to go over the top. As Fulsang and Schützhoff pass through 10 kilometres to go, and they have an advantage of 34 seconds over the group of Tom Dumoulin and the rest. So with Movistar on the fronts now, doing a bit of work, that gap is beginning to come down a little. Tim Valens as Vincenzo Nibali attacks. So the first big showing from one of the first big favourites on this edition of the Giro d'Italia, and it comes from the main man himself.
Chavez says their guys like safely, and Dumoulin goes.
Well, Tom Dumoulin, who was looked at a spotted runner earlier on, used his team to bring back that attack from Fulsang and Schützhoff. Now he decides to go over the top, and he sails past Vincenzo Nibali. So the big Dutch time trialist in the leader's jersey is at it again. Meanwhile, what can you say about Tim Valens? This is a wonderful solo performance with a rider who perhaps has much more in the locker in the years to come. I'll be looking at a future Grand Tour contender. Zigzags a little from left to right in the closing corners, and he's got minutes to play with. The race behind him is miles down the road, and he takes a big stage win. Congratulations to Tim Valens, who actually comes to an immediate halt and salutes the crowd over the line. A great win, he lifts his bike aloft.
Tom Dumoulin there in the pink jersey is going to strengthen his lead in that competition. Fulsang best in the rest, he gets 6 seconds. Zakarin there in third, but what a ride by that man.
Now with Giulio Ciccone in the breakaway, the rider just moving through is Axel Dumont. After him comes Stefan Küng, the Austrian, Ilya Koshevoy from Lampe Merida, Daniel Martinez, Stefan Denifo from Iron Cycling. That is the King of the Mountains line, the last points of the day, and they're going to go to Colombia. And they go to Daniel Martinez. He takes 3 points for Villa Triestina Southeast. Drink time for the breakaway. They have been cruised by Campbell and Dr. Sudal. And Dumont, well, I don't know if he's even back in the race yet, but he has
1.3k to go. Still hanging out there, isn't it? The peloton very much has got things in control at the moment.
Well, they're just waiting to pick him off now, unfortunately for Stefan Küng. As we look down at the Duomo, Stefan Küng looks over his left shoulder, through his right arm, and realises that it is game over. Inside 7k, all back together again. Well, it's Kittel himself. What has happened to Marcel Kittel? It's game over, the end of the day for him. A bike change, a resignation, all that work for nothing. Here we go then, under the plan route into the final kilometre. Who's going to take this up now? Lampe Merida set the pace with Andre Greipel there, still in third gear with Kittel behind him. Jay make their move on the left side of the road with Arnaud Demar. Second place to Marcel Kittel for Arnaud Demar. Arnaud Demar on stage 2, can he go one better? He is perfectly poised now. Kane Ewan is being shifted into contention. There's Ewan, he's still got a man working for him. Sonny Cobrelli is still there for Bardiani CSF. Matteo Trentino for Essex Brickstep. Tongue out, looking relaxed, looking happily played, but for now, Greipel is out of position. He's drawn back to about 7th place. Really, he's going to have to go for a long one. Also is there for Katusha. Anyone can win from here. 200 metres to go. Ewan opens up his sprint, gets close to the handlebars, and now flips the chance from all the way down the middle of the road. Greipel coming past them all though. Andrew Greipel wins again from Italy in 7th place. Modelo in 3rd. What a sprint that was. Sabre zone. The mark. Through to live coverage. Let me tell you, there is a breakaway. It's a big breakaway, and it is 4 minutes and 14 seconds up the road. Fairly soon, 79.6 kilometres, so in about 13 kilometres time they will be going over the top of the first categorised time of the day from Schedule. Here's your breakaway. They have a 4-minute advantage, and they have at this point just under 32 kilometres of racing in which to defend it. Gianluca Brambilla in third wheel in the blue jersey of Ethics Quickstep. He hears the bell. Is he about to ride himself into the pink jersey of the Giro d'Italia? Brambilla has dropped Montegucci. So this is it really. This is the move for Brambilla. For him, it's all about what he can do in the next 24.7 kilometres. And he's going to have to do it without any allies. Gianluca Brambilla for Italy and for Ethics Quickstep. Over the top you go. What is your advantage relative to the favourites who are closing in on you all the way? He passes through 10 kilometres to go now, Gianluca Brambilla, and he's separated by 2 minutes from the group chasing me behind him on the road. He's got 27 seconds advantage to Matteo Montegucci. This is a moment of history for Gianluca Brambilla, just 27 years of age in the best form of his life, riding on the biggest stage an Italian could possibly dream of, towards a stage win and the potential of the Maglia Rosa on the Giro d'Italia on a sun-baked afternoon here in Tuscany, with the whole country and all across the world people watching on to see whether he can do it. He's into the closing couple of hundred metres now, Gianluca Brambilla, and very soon now he will know that he has won stage 8 of the 99th Giro d'Italia, but he will know that's only half the story. Is it enough for the pink jersey? Gianluca Brambilla takes stage 8 into Arezzo. His moment is only half done. We're going to stop the clock, and very soon we might be looking at the next pink jersey. Italy celebrating a 1-2 over the line. Brambilla and Montegucci, and now the clock is ticking over.
Young in the white jersey at the second intermediate check, still going very well indeed, isn't he? Well, well done.
Well, Bob Jungels will, I hope, not be disappointed as he makes his way. Does he round this corner in one piece? Yes, he does. I hope he won't be too disappointed that he's being denied the opportunity to ride for a stage win, because had it remained dry, for sure he would have been a major threat to the time of Primoz Roglic. But Roglic can now breathe a little bit easier. He's not going to be bested by Bob Jungels on this occasion. Jungels, though, is in a GC battle, and he is doing brilliantly here. He posts a time of 52.30, which for all the main GC men will be a huge challenge to get the better of. In fact, none of them will, I'm almost sure of that. Andre Amador has just knocked holes into the time that pretty much everyone at the first intermediate timing point of 11.6 kilometres. Amador has lost a bit of time on the middle section. Not partly down to his conditions. Bob Jungels went through that faster than him. Andre Amador set by some distance the fastest time through 11.6 kilometres. Then the last time we got a look at his split times, he had lost a bit of momentum. It's still going to be a very fast time though for the Costa Rican rider from Movistar. Where is the clock going to stop for this man? The rain continues to bucket down here at the finishing line. He runs up over the cobbled section, just a little rise in the road now, and drops down. Fingers poised over the brakes to come to a halt when he crosses that line, and he crosses it in 10th place. A very good time, 1:19 down in 53.04 for Amador. Gianluca Brambilla at 11.6k has lost time. Where does he sit relative to other GC? This man though is struggling to hold on to the Maglia Rosa. He might already have gone. It's a decent time from Brambilla.
Yeah, really good. So Brambilla needed a 53.51 to stay in pink, so he's not too far out.
So we've ripped him off far too early. Far too early we've ripped him off. Brambilla has a live chance of staying in pink, and that's why they were cheering him on through that last split time. 53.46, he's got to a handful of seconds to play with. He stops the clock. 53.50, and that, Dan,
I think puts him in the lead, still in the pink by a second.
I hesitate to say it, or to call it, but that... Visconti and Bohem are back in that group, so there's no chase group on the road any longer, simply a 13-man breakaway and a peloton containing the Maglia Rosa of Gianluca Brambilla. This is a key moment of the race. The first Category 1 summit of the Pian del Falco beckons. almost detached from a very, very small group now that contains Vincenzo Nibali. I can see Domenico Pozzovivo, Rafa Majka is up front. There are all the favourites are there except for this man. Is this the end for Gianluca Grandilla's reign in pink? 100 metres to go from Cunego. Now he opens up a gap, and Ciccone goes over the top of his leader, who's unable to hold his wheel. And it's a battle between the young Italian and the veteran Damiano Cunego. But Cunego is going to take 35 points to go back into the blue King of the Mountains jersey at the end of the race. Sent to come, go over the top. It's fairly flat for the first kilometre or half. If you look at well, what's up here? Grazzi comes together with Cunego. Ciccone just
that's interesting. I don't think he was deliberate, but perhaps he effectively tried to keep the inside of Cunego. It's got a corner all runs. Now this man to get a bit of a gap.
Well, for the second successive stage, right now Gianluca Grandilla is back from the dead, holding on to his pink jersey for dear life. He's made contact with the group of favourites.
Now we can see quite a unique situation. Grandilla doing work on the front. You could just say, I want to sit in and try and keep the pink jersey myself, but he's putting it all on the line now with luck to go to.
Gianluca Grandilla digs up. He's done his domestic job today in the Maglia Road. He hands over to Juggles. Now it's all over to you, Bob Juggles. What can you do to peg back Andre Amador? A stage win on the Giro d'Italia for Giulio Ciccone. Taking a win in Sestola and celebrating it like the champion he might well become. Almost overwhelmed with emotion, on the line, a double punch, a bowing of the head. Victory for Ciccone. Giovanni Visconti hands over to Amador. He stops the watch now at 2:10, and there is the gap, and it has come back substantially. So what a job they've done. Alejandro Valverde leading over the big favourites. So where did they come back from? That was extraordinary.
I can tell you Bob Jungels did a tremendously long turn on the front. It's his big chance of going into the pink jersey, and I think he's done it. He brought that gap down enough that Amador will not be in the pink jersey, but Bob Jungels will be.
That was exceptional. There was almost no gap at the end of that. So last time we had a time check, there was advantage is being whittled away. And Nico Vinifertini have set a furious pace in the peloton behind them, some 30 seconds on the foothills of this climb. There is an attack from Carlos Betancourt from Movistar. Now, Betancourt goes. That was a name we hadn't counted with, but perhaps it is a name we should have considered here. 20 kilometres to go, and the Colombian from Movistar opens up his attack. Could be a very, very interesting move. 50 metres to go to the top of the climb. Kreiswijk is going to take himself three hugely irrelevant mountain points. Alejandro Valverde will take two, and Esteban Chavez taking one. In that chase group, the riders parted the waves and allowed the pink jersey to get on the front, because it is down to Juggles, particularly on this flatter section, with the lumps and bumps, as you've alluded to, still to come, to bring the rest of the race across to this group or limit the damage that's being done.
Amador decided it's his turn to go, and we saw Michael on the wheel. He did look initially at going with Amador. I'm surprised, in fact, he decided not to do that, because Amador, of course, sitting in second place on the GC at just 22nd. It's Bob Jungels who decides to go after the Costa Rican rider. Is it his own now, Jungels?
Well, I think Amador was just struggling to hold his wheel there. Continues to battle just to close the gap. He's done it, but Jungels is just ridiculously strong at the moment. You wouldn't bet against Jungels taking advantage over the top of this climb, in the middle of the village, at the top of this climb, and at the other side. But the gap is shrinking. Well, there's an attack from Ulissi trying to get across, and there is a reaction from Mondo again. With only 2 kilometres remaining, this group of 3 riders has a chance at least of trying for the stage victory among them. Bob Jungels goes to the front. This time he goes for real, and Bob Jungels opens up a sprint. 150 metres to go. Can he hold them off? It looks as though Ulissi is closing. Ulissi has got past the Luxembourger. Ulissi is going to take his 6th stage win on the Giro d'Italia. His second in this edition of the race. Andre Amador is in second place, and Bob Jungels has done it again. Another day in peace for him tomorrow. No one is going to deny Bob Jungels his moment and another glorious stage win for Italy and for Maestri will do absolutely nothing to upset the go, and Os takes himself another 20 points. Now the catch has been effective, so that's the end of the day for Os and the Mighty. They rejoin the peloton. The race has come all back together again with 22.5 kilometres remaining. In 700 metres time though, the train of Lopez Sedal will pass over the finishing line and they will take the bell. And that means that it is the end of the GC race. All those riders will be given the same time provided there are no splits in this peloton as they pass over the line. And it doesn't look like they're going to be. Lopez Sedal weave over to the left-hand side of the road, and that point is coming up very soon as Andre Greifen drifts over to the right, allows his team then to pull over to the right, and now Greifen will just have to sprint and reposition himself and get back on to that train. That's the final turn. Now they line things out for the bell lap. Nobody's going to show their hand as yet. Caleb Ewan, the small rider, has entirely disappeared from view. There he is in the centre, marked by Marina Hoffman in the yellow of Lotto Jumbo. And still Greifen, just a little nudge across to his right, and still he sits comfortably. Now they turn right-handed, just 200 metres to go. Surely Greifen wants to open up the sprint now, just hidden by that shield there. You can see Greifen opening up now. Ewan is challenging him. Neck and neck, the big man and the small man. Ewan has got almost no room to make his move, and he won't get past the German, not this time. Not again, he takes second place. Greifen takes his third win on the Giro d'Italia. Yet another dominant sprint from the German. Taking maximum points though, whatever the position on the road exactly. He has now taken 50 points in the King of the Mountains competition by winning both the first climbs. Further back down the road, and Essex Quickstep have been obliterated from the front of the race. Jungels finds himself pretty exposed at this point, just looking for any of his teammates who are still with him. There he goes over the line. He'll take the maximum King of the Mountains points, 35. Visconti will want to pick up second place here and get himself 18 points. Now the attacks are coming at the front of the main group of favourites. It's Movistar who will be done, and there's a reaction straight away from Vincenzo Nibali. That is Andre Amador, the Costa Rican rider, second placed in the general classification. He takes within Nibali.
Now struggled due to the acceleration of Esteban Chavez, and the pink jersey is slipping out the back of this race.
Vincenzo Nibali goes over the top of his old rival Alejandro Valverde, and it's a big attack now from the Italian. Still with a few kilometres of climbing to go until they start to descend. That group has been dropped by Bob Young, so you can see just going off in the distance. He is attacking this descent as if his pink jersey depended on it, which it probably does.
Swept up Stefan Denko, but he's coming back to the group of favourites and riding himself potentially into the pink jersey.
Absolutely. If that's the case, if he latches onto the back of the group of favourites who last time we saw, there they are as well. They were almost a minute up on Bob Jungels, and if Amador has which that's the ride of his life. Mikel Nieve for Team Sky, making good on their Giro d'Italia that hasn't achieved much to date. They've waited until stage 13 though to take the win, and the glory goes to Mikel Nieve, coasting over the line, but what a battle is unfolding behind him. Valverde hits the front, Nibali trying to out-sprint him for those 4 seconds. Valverde not managing to hold him off though. The Italian takes the third place, and he takes 4 over seconds, and you stop the clock now. It's ticking over now. What is Bob Jungels going to be able to do about this? In the pink jersey, doing it justice. If this is the end of the race for Bob Jungels' ambitions in the sharp end of the general classification, he has done the team and his country and himself. It's not forgotten himself. He bounces up over the 100 mark, earns himself another 35 points, taking himself to 124 overall. He earned 18 points for second place. Now they have been in their sights, so Plaza knows it. He looks over his shoulder, round the hairpin, and Sutsov and Atapuma will just get a little spring in their step now as they realise that they have reached their first objective, and they've got to cross to Rubin Plaza, and they are right where they want to be in terms of a possible stage win, as Andrei Zeitz now has joined the front of that group, and he's setting a faster pace, and now it is really beginning to tell for Amador. So are we seeing a new race leader emerge on the slopes of the Category 1 Passer Giao. It might well be the case. Well, there he is. He's latching onto the back of the convoy of cars behind that group of favourites. The pink jersey, ladies and gentlemen, is getting back on. Now he goes. Vincenzo Nibali, I sensed that something was imminent. He had a little look at Scarponi. Scarponi gave him the wink and said, I'm off, it's up to you. And now the team leader makes his big attack. And straight away, as he has done repeatedly on this Giro, Stephen Kreisberg is the first to react. Meanwhile, Atapuma has attacked the other two. So Sutsov and Kreidler have been left by the Colombian under threat from his girlfriend. We understand that if he doesn't win the stage today, she is going home. Emil Zakarin finds that he can't live with the pace and he drops off the back now. Stephen Kreisberg launches a huge attack. Chavez looks across to see what Nibali can do. He wants to bring it back, but Chavez might have to go it alone because Nibali is just getting himself his head down and can now Nibali cracks too. So Esteban Chavez has dropped the Italian. Nibali showing real signs of weakness on this flying. Atapuma looks across at Kreisberg, and what will he be feeling? He knows that he was so close. Now he's just got to try and stay on their wheel, recuperate and offer something in the finale. Georg Kreidler will take the win, and he will take 10 bonus seconds surely as they go left-handed and into the finishing straight. Can Chavez get across to him? Can Kreisberg go right over the top of both of those? Chavez opens up in a sprint. Will it be the day for Colombia? It will! Esteban Chavez wins the race for Colombia after all. Stephen Kreisberg is in second place. He picks up 6 bonus seconds and he will be the new Maliero. An extraordinary time by Alexander Filippinov. 13.04 is the time of Ian Boswell, and I haven't seen any of the riders managing to sprint with this speed towards the finishing line. He's absolutely belting down that line, rushes past Stefan Boniface. A huge advantage over the entire rest of the field. Fully 1 minute and 25 seconds faster than Ian Boswell. That is an extraordinary time. Seconds away, and off he goes. Stephen Kreisberg in pursuit of Vincenzo Nibali, 3 minutes further up the road, but really his battle is against the clock and the gradient. 10.8 kilometres to decide his fate. He's good to go. This is an enormous time trial so far from Stephen Kreisberg from the Maglia Rosa. He's going to set the best time through 4.4 kilometres. So, despite appearances to the contrary, he is flying 9:07, significantly less time through 4.4 and much faster than Vincenzo Nibali. Alejandro Valverde, I think he's going to be inside that time. Yes, he is. So Valverde is going to take back time on Zakarin, and he's going to be the best of all the big GC hitters at the finish line. So far, 29.02 for Alejandro Valverde. Second place on the stage, just 23 seconds slower than Filippinov. A brilliant time from Valverde. Vincenzo Nibali has got a mechanical now. He slipped. His chain has slipped. He's just looking down at the neck, and also it's come to a complete halt. He throws his bike away in disgust. Where is the replacement bike for Vincenzo Nibali? Where's his team car? How much time is this costing him? The bike just fell apart there. One rider still to come. What damage is being done here to Vincenzo Nibali's Giro d'Italia? Look at the time that he has posted. After that mechanical, having to stop and get a new bike, 24th place, 30.49. Can Kreisberg actually take the stage? 100 metres to go, and he's still got 10 seconds. Kreisberg sprinting for the line. Is he going to beat Alexander Filippinov? He's beaten all the rest in the general classification. Can he beat the Russian too? He can! Oh, he can't. He just misses out by a split second. Once again, what drama in an individual time trial. Filippinov takes the win by the smallest of margins, but Kreisberg has obliterated the opposition in the general classification. This is the stage result, and this is confirmed. Filippinov beats Stephen Kreisberg. Under instruction to soften this up for to put this man in pressure. That's the game plan. Clearly, based on they have come around. There are 3 categorised climbs to come as Alejandro Valverde goes again, and this time he's joined by David Luisi. We've got 2 points from Eventuala and the other. Now, Kreisberg has to react again, and this is what they need by putting him under pressure. This must be the third or fourth time when Kreisberg has actually accelerated. Now there is an attack. decided Rafa Mica paid good close attention as well, but they do have to do something about this now. I wonder whether Vincenzo Nibali will try and react himself, and now, as expected, David Lopez from Sky goes on the attack. Last time we saw the front of the race, that very much looked like the case, and sure, Ilnur Zakarin is the rider to react, and there goes the Maglia Rosa himself, Steven Kruijswijk. Nibali, when he attacked once, and here goes Valverde. His patience has run out. He goes in the middle of the road, and there's an immediate reaction from Kruijswijk. Bob Mills just digs in. He's not going to accelerate to join the Spaniard, and Vincenzo Nibali just temporarily looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Domenico Pozzovivo and Vincenzo Nibali are definitely dropped off the back end of that group, because Esteban Chavez is charging up the line at the moment. He's got 125 metres until he goes over the top. Andrew Valverde clearly the favourite amongst these two, but don't rule out Steven Kruijswijk. Taking the stage win, 200 metres to go. They come round, Zakarin sits up, and it's between these two. Valverde starts to sprint almost in slow motion. Kruijswijk is still on his wheel, one last contact, takes the inside line, but Valverde is going to take the sprint. A cool look out to the right. Alejandro Valverde wins on the Giro d'Italia. Steven Kruijswijk in second place, and now it's on the clock to see where the rest of the race are. Gipo is interested in contesting this in the Daniels, which won't please the big man from BMC too much. But Gipo's going to make a game of it, and I think Os just got the better of him, but yeah, it's interesting. He didn't bother contesting the first one, actually getting the ball with Daniels. So over the top of that intermediate sprint, three riders have got away. The rider from Lotto Soudal, it's not sure of the I think.
Lars back, Novolovas, and one more rider on the back from Katusha. Two groups coming together now at the front, so we have a group of 6 with a lead of around 25 seconds and 22 Ks remaining. Right, let's just come out to that roundabout now we were talking about earlier on. It will rise ever so slightly here, so this might be the breakaway chance. You can see now Latin leader finally getting control of the front of the bunch and bringing this group of 6 back into the fold. Well, Pipo Pizzato has sensed that the chase will be significantly reduced in strength because of the chasing they have to do with this group. He's now found himself off the front with about a 20-metre lead over the group behind, being led by Katusha, and that is beginning to increase. Can Pipo Pizzato pull off a famous win?
Well, there'll be people all around Italy standing up and watching this with fascination and some sense of delight as well. Rolling back the years for Vinea Triestina Southeast these days. Pipo Pizzato, one of our national darlings, is soloing to victory in the final 700 or 800 metres of the race. What advantage does he take in? Not enough, surely, to hold on this frenetic chase behind him. And still they gang up on him. Porsev has a rider working for him. There is the red jersey of Nitolo. And he is latching on to a sprinter taking up. Still they haven't gone across to Pipo Pizzato as I Am Cycling take things
Roger
up.
Kluge, the German track sprinter, has gone straight past Pipo Pizzato, but I Am Cycling, he could desperately do it. Really, it looks like he's going to get it.
It looks like Kluge is going to get the better of all of them. The end of the challenge for Pizzato as they range up behind him. Heartbreak once again for Nitolo, who just hangs on for second place. Nicky Azant in third, but Roger Kluge steals a march on all of them. And in a Dauskas does drop away, and there's a reaction immediately from Gianluca Brambilla. So Moser and Brambilla, 2 Italians, are after Pavel Groth. How close are they to Green and Russian? The answer is pretty close. Moser looking extremely strong.
It does look like it's these 2 Italians that are the strongest out of the break. Pretty much as we expected, really. Brambilla is picked up in the blue there, and Moreno knows it in the green behind. These 2 teams have sat to rise and have pushed guys all the way to the top. It's quite a long descent and flat road that comes afterwards, so it has to give up. Top of the 21 seconds, so it's starting to come back reasonably significantly. Now, Trentin, not known for his prime, he's got
Gianluca Brandilla for the next move, and sure enough it is. He takes a slight inside line on the really steep sections. Now Moser is rocking from side to side and beginning ever so slightly when he goes back on again. So these two, you cannot separate them. He's just waiting to open up his sprint. Moser knows he's there, but Moser appears to be in control, and there is Matteo Trentin, as if from nowhere. What are they going to do about him, and what is Trentin going to do? Just 200 metres to go now. Moser still on the front. Does he even know Trentin is there? Now he does, because Trentin opens up a sprint, and Trentin surely is going to take this win. 50 metres to go. Brambilla allowed him to do it. Moser, no chance of responding. What a brilliant win from a brilliant rider, Matteo Trentin. Surely.
This group, which is now all together with Mikel Nieve.
But we're entering the territory as Tadame decides to attack and go it alone. And just as I was saying, I think he's thinking he's got to get over the top with something of an advantage on the group of pure climbers as Dombrowski tries to... that was an explosive move from Tadame. Just the first sign of weakness from the pink jersey. And a huge roar goes up at the finishing line here. The Italian crowd who've made their way up to the finishing point of stage 20 know what's happening on the road. And they know that for the first time today, a little bit of daylight has opened up between their great hero Vincenzo Nibali. And that is the point of no return, I would imagine, for Esteban Chavez. 1 minute and 1 second unofficially to Vincenzo Nibali. So Nibali has a 16-second buffer, essentially now, to defend his virtual race lead of the Giro d'Italia.
Here comes Ryan Tarame underneath the Flamme Rouge.
The last time he scored on a Grand Tour was 5 years ago on the Vuelta a España. His second Grand Tour stage win. It's been 5 years since he last did this. And Taramay, rolling back the years, are back to his best. The winner at Santa Ana di Bernardo. Well done, Ryan Taramay. Well done, you celebrate. Brilliant ride from the Estonia. Meanwhile, Darwin Atapuma takes second place for BMC and for Colombia. Could this be the moment where Vincenzo Nibali becomes winner of the 99th Giro d'Italia? And if that's the case, it will be his fourth Grand Tour victory. And Esteban Chavez, well, denied at the last. Congratulations to Vincenzo Nibali. A fourth Grand Tour, a second Giro d'Italia. And over the last 2 days, he has clearly been the strongest man on the race. Here's confirmation.
Of the screen there. That looks to be like the mid-cut front there. So there are some riders trying to push across. That looks to me like Tim Wellens. So it's a powerful breakaway. And Wellens have pulled back Manuel Buaro, who's riding on the man possessed, and he's off again. I don't know what Buaro thinks he's achieving here, but he's full of fight. And with 38.5 kilometres to go, he just wants to get rid of Wellens and Brambilla and get across to these two. Looks like these three are not too far from being caught right now, but still a minute's lead to our two strong Dutchmen at the front. As Jos van Emden goes solo, Martin Chalingi is out of contention. He's been dropped after a huge turn on the front with his compatriot, and Van Emden's going to have to do this all on his own. Here goes Trentin. Is that Colbrelli there as well? Oh, well, Colbrelli latched onto the wheel of the white jersey. He's just blasting up this climb. That's the end of the ride for Jos van Emden. There is the rider you were talking about, Matteo Trentini. He's there. Big crash from Colbrelli. Just about avoids it there, Bob Jonas, as he looks over his shoulder to see what's happened to the man from Bardiani CSF. Cameraman on the side to somebody trying to take a photo. Well, the B is going out at this point. A moment's hesitation from the rest of the race, and the Belgian is flying over this perilous cobbled bridge before they line up into the finishing line. A long way to go though still, and the B will have to just have the ride of his life to hold off this chase. Careful on this section, it is back, it's dangerous. He turns left-handed now, and a long finishing final separating him from victory. People do continue trying hard to get on top of him. Is that Monsu? It's by Worthy Gross who goes over the top. Damaged, bruised, bearing a scar on his left shoulder. And there's a reaction as well from Villa Triestina southeast. They have Belletti battling hard to get on terms, but Luca Montini out of there, short of me trying to get back on terms. Giacomo Nizzolo closing in the red jersey now. He has Bodolo for company. Over to you, the sprinters. Finally, Giacomo Nizzolo delivers at the Giro d'Italia. In chaotic circumstances, but it will matter not a jihad. He's done it. Disappeared really from the overall contention. Showed weakness on weakness. People questioning his entire career really, and what it would hold from this moment on. And then 2 days in the Alps answered everybody's doubts, maybe even his own, who knows? Because Vincenzo Nibali is back where he belongs, winning the Giro d'Italia. But the news is that Giacomo Nizzolo has been, we understand, officially disqualified from his stage win. And presumably, Dan, precisely for that infringement that you identified when we watched the replay, Sacha Modolo felt that he had changed his mind. Vincenzo Nibali wins the Giro d'Italia. His advantage at the final finish line is just 52 seconds. Esteban Chavez with Alejandro Valverde in third place, and Steven Kruijswijk heartbreakingly relegated off the podium in fourth place. But the door finally opens and the crowd get what they want. Vincenzo Nibali now taking it to the top step of the podium, about to pull on the Maglia Rosa definitively on the final stage for the second time in his illustrious career. He is the Maglia Rosa of the 99th edition of the Giro d'Italia. And who would say that this time next year we won't be watching him do it again when the Giro d'Italia turns 100. He's an exceptional rider. Has cut a pretty unhappy, disconsolate figure most of the way round.
this tour of Italy, but when the high mountains beckoned, when the roads passed up over 2,700 metres of altitude, that is when he came to life. He needed 2 stages to turn it round, and he dispensed with the opposition, and in the end, he won with something to spare.